I wasted 80 pounds on my first day in Edinburgh because nobody told me these 7 things. If you're visiting for the first time, watch this entire video. Number 3 literally changed my entire trip. Hey, so I just got back from spending a long weekend in Edinburgh, Scotland, and I need to tell you something. This city is not what I expected. I did what most tourists do. I searched things to do in Edinburgh, found the usual listicles, and ended up in crowded tourist traps spending way too much money. But then I talked to locals. I explored neighborhoods most tourists skip, and I discovered the real Edinburgh. So in this video, I'm breaking down 7 things you absolutely need to do as a first-time visitor to Edinburgh, and I'm ranking them from good to absolutely mind-blowing. Stick around until the end because number 1 is where locals go for sunset, and it's not where you think. All right, let's get into it. Number 7. Okay, so number 7, and hear me out on this, is the Royal Mile. But here's the thing, you need to do it at sunrise, not midday. The Royal Mile is basically Edinburgh's main street. It's this iconic 1.6-kilometer stretch connecting Edinburgh Castle up here to the Palace of Holyrood House down here. It's cobblestone, it's medieval, it's absolutely stunning. But during the day, it's packed. I'm talking shoulder-to-shoulder tourists, street performers every 3 feet, and honestly, it loses its magic. So here's what I did. I set my alarm for 5:30 a.m. I know. And I walked the entire Royal Mile before the city woke up. And it was like stepping back in time. The only sounds were my footsteps on the cobblestones and the distant rumble of garbage trucks. I could actually see the details in the buildings, the hidden closes. Those are the narrow alleyways, and I got photos with 0 people in them. Plus, you'll want to do this early because it sets you up perfectly for number 4 on this list, which opens right at 9:30 a.m. and the line gets insane. A local barista told me, if you want to feel the real history of Edinburgh, walk the Royal Mile when the tourists are still sleeping. She was absolutely right. Pro tip, start at the castle end and walk downhill toward the palace. Your legs will thank you. But the Royal Mile is just the beginning. Number 6 is where things get interesting. Number 6 is Dean Village, and I genuinely cannot believe more people don't talk about this place. Dean Village is this tiny fairy tale-like neighborhood tucked away just 10 minutes from the city center. It was originally a milling village dating back to the 12th century, and it looks like it hasn't changed since. You've got these pastel-colored buildings, a river running through it, old stone bridges, and it's so quiet. I felt like I was in a completely different country, not even a different city. Here's the crazy part. While thousands of tourists are crammed into the Royal Mile taking the same photos, Dean Village had maybe 5 other people there. 5. I spent about 45 minutes here just wandering, and I stumbled upon this pathway called the Water of Leith Walkway. It's a 13-mile walking trail that snakes through Edinburgh, and you can hop on and off at different points. And actually, this walkway is going to come up again at number 4, so remember this spot. If you want that perfect Edinburgh Instagram shot without the crowds, Dean Village is it. But go early. By 11 a.m. it starts getting busy. Pro tip, walk down Bell's Brae from the city center. It's a steep hill, but the reveal when you reach the bottom is absolutely worth it. Now, number 5 is where I spent way too much money, but I don't regret a single penny. All right, number 5, Stockbridge neighborhood and the Sunday market. And this is where I mention I spent 80 pounds because I couldn't control myself. So it's Sunday morning. I'm walking through the Water of Leith path from Dean Village, and I start smelling fresh bread, coffee, and something savory. I follow my nose and boom, I end up at this incredible outdoor market. The Stockbridge market is only open on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and it's where locals go. Not tourists, locals. I'm talking artisan cheeses, homemade Scottish tablet, which is like fudge but better, fresh oysters, handmade jewelry, vintage books, you name it. I bought this ridiculous wheel of Scottish cheddar, a jar of local honey, some lavender soap, and then I got sucked into a conversation with a whiskey vendor for 20 minutes. Before I knew it, I'd dropped 80 pounds. But here's why it's worth it. Every vendor I talked to was so passionate about their craft. One woman told me she's been making her jam recipe for 30 years. A farmer told me his beef comes from cattle that graze 15 miles north. This is the real Scotland. Compare this to the Royal Mile shop selling mass-produced tartan scarves and I Love Edinburgh keychains made in China. Stockbridge is authentic. After the market, I explored the Stockbridge neighborhood itself. Tree-lined streets, independent bookshops, cozy cafes. This is where I'd live if I moved to Edinburgh. Only catch, it's only open Sundays, so plan accordingly. And speaking of planning, number 4 requires a time ticket, so listen up. Pro tip, bring cash. Some vendors don't take card and you'll want to support them. Number 4 is where Edinburgh's dark history comes alive. Number 4 is Mary King's Close, and this is hands down the most fascinating thing I did in Edinburgh. So, here's something wild. Underneath the Royal Mile, there are entire streets that have been buried and sealed off for centuries, and Mary King's Close is one of the only places where you can actually walk through them. This isn't some cheesy haunted house attraction. This is a real preserved 17th century street where people lived, worked, and died during some of Edinburgh's darkest times, including the plague. Unfortunately, you can't take photos or videos inside, but let me paint you a picture. You descend underground beneath the city. The temperature drops. You walk through cramped stone corridors, past tiny rooms where entire families lived, and your guide tells you stories of the people who used to live here. There's one room, a little girl's room, where people leave toys and gifts because of the stories about a child's spirit. I'm not saying I believe in ghosts, but being down there, the energy is heavy. The tour guide told us that Edinburgh is considered one of the most haunted cities in Europe, and after being down there, I believe it. Here's the thing, this tour sells out fast, like days in advance. You need to book a time ticket online before you go. And actually, doing this tour first completely changed how I saw Edinburgh for the rest of my trip. Suddenly, all the streets above made sense, which brings me to number 3. Pro tip, book the first tour of the day at 9:30 a.m. Smaller groups, better experience. Now number 3 is where I actually saved money, and it's probably the most underrated spot in the entire city. Number 3 is Calton Hill, and this is where I saved myself from making a huge mistake. So everyone, and I mean everyone, told me I had to hike Arthur's Seat for the best view of Edinburgh. It's this big, extinct volcano. It's all over Instagram. It's iconic. But then a local told me, Arthur's Seat is great, but if you want the best view without the crowds and the brutal hike, go to Calton Hill at sunset. So I did both, and I'm going to say something controversial. Calton Hill is better. Here's why. Calton Hill is a 10-minute easy walk from the city center. It's not a hike, it's a stroll. And when you get to the top, you're standing among these incredible Greek-style monuments with a complete 360-degree view of Edinburgh. You can see the castle, the old town, Arthur's Seat in the distance, the sea, everything. And because it's not as famous, there were maybe 20 people up there. Not 200, 20. I sat up there for an hour watching the sunset, and I met a couple from Edinburgh who come up here every Friday night with wine and snacks. They said, "This is where locals come. Arthur's Seat is for tourists." The golden hour up here is unreal, but you need to time it right. Check the sunset time and get up there 30 minutes before. And here's the best part. It's completely free. No ticket, no reservation, just show up. Oh, and fun fact, that big unfinished monument up there, it's called Scotland's Disgrace because they ran out of money building it in 1829. Now it's iconic. Now, I did hike Arthur's Seat the next day, and I'll tell you about it at number 2, but spoiler alert, I stand by what I said. Pro tip, bring a jacket. It's windy up there, even in summer. And yes, you can bring wine and snacks. It's legal in Scotland. Speaking of Arthur's Seat, let's talk about number 2. Number 2 is Arthur's Seat, but I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it without hating your life. Arthur's Seat is an 822-foot extinct volcano right in the middle of Edinburgh. It's dramatic, it's rugged, and yes, the view from the top is incredible. But here's what nobody tells you. It's crowded, like really crowded. I started my hike at 11 a.m. Big mistake. There were families with strollers, people in jeans and loafers slipping on rocks, Instagram influencers doing photo shoots blocking the path. It was chaos. The hike itself is steep and rocky. It's not technically difficult, but it's not a casual walk either. If you're not used to hiking, you'll feel it. A guy I met at the halfway point told me, "You've got to do this at sunrise, 6 a.m. Nobody's up here and the light is magic." So, if you want to do Arthur's Seat, and you should, go at sunrise or late evening. Avoid midday at all costs. And honestly, if you only have time for one viewpoint, I'd still pick Calton Hill. But if you want the full Edinburgh experience and you don't mind a workout, Arthur's Seat is worth it. But neither of these compares to where I'm about to send you for number 1. This is the spot that made my entire trip. Pro tip, wear proper shoes. I saw someone in heels. Don't be that person. All right, number 1. This is the thing I wish I'd done on day 1. Number 1, the thing you absolutely cannot miss, Edinburgh Castle. But here's the secret. Book the last entry time of the day. I booked a 4:30 p.m. time slot, and by the time I got inside, the morning crowds were gone. I practically had the crown jewels room to myself. Edinburgh Castle is over 900 years old. It sits on top of an extinct volcano overlooking the entire city. Inside, you've got the crown jewels of Scotland, St. Margaret's Chapel, the oldest building in Edinburgh, and some of the most insane views you'll ever see. A guard told me that midday tickets can mean 2-hour waits just to get in. Late afternoon? I walk straight in. Book your tickets online in advance. Choose the latest time slot available. Trust me on this. Edinburgh Castle is the crown jewel of this city. It's the one thing you cannot skip. And seeing it at golden hour with smaller crowds, that's how you do Edinburgh right. Pro tip, the 1 o'clock gun fires every day except Sundays. Time your visit to see it. So there you have it, 7 things you absolutely need to do in Edinburgh as a first-time visitor. Number 7, Royal Mile at sunrise. Number 6, Dean Village. Number 5, Stockbridge Market. Number 4, Mary King's Close. Number 3, Calton Hill at sunset. Number 2, Arthur's Seat at sunrise. And number 1, Edinburgh Castle at closing time. If this video helped you plan your trip, hit that like button so more people can find it. And if you want a full downloadable itinerary with maps, times, and links, check the description below. Drop a comment and tell me, which one are you most excited to do? Or if you've been to Edinburgh, what did I miss? And if you're planning a trip to Scotland, subscribe because I've got more videos coming on Glasgow, the Highlands, and the Isle of Skye. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Happy travels.